Hey guys, welcome to the 34th C programming tutorial, and in this tutorial we're just going to finish up our report card program. So all we have left to do is basically just get user input, so we just have to ask the user for the student's name and their grade in all of these classes, and then just call this print report card function to calculate the average and then print that information out onto the screen. Alright, so the first thing that we need to do right here is just create a report card object. So let's just go ahead and do that. So we're going to say report card, and then I'll just go ahead and call this variable RC for report card. Alright, then we just have to print out onto the screen asking the user to enter the student's name. So we're just going to say printf enter the student's last name. Alright, then we're just going to go ahead and read it using this scanf function. And we're going to be reading a string, so we just have to do %s. And then what we have to do is basically provide the address to a location where we can store a string. Now you probably think that we can just do rc.name. Well, we can't, because this name pointer doesn't point to anything yet. What we actually have to do is create a temporary variable. So we're going to create a temporary character array, read the name that the user enters into that array, and then we're just going to have this character pointer called name point to that array. So we're going to go ahead right here and say character array called str, and we'll just allocate 20 characters inside of this array so the user can enter a last name up to 20 characters. And then we just want it to read the name that the user enters into this character array right here called str. So we're just going to say str. And remember, I said that we need to provide the address to a location where we can store characters at. And remember that any array is the same thing as a pointer. So this str array right here just points to the first character inside of this str array, or this character array right here. So we don't need to have an ampersand at the beginning. And then what we need to do is just say rc.name equals str. So now what we're doing right here is we're just having this character pointer called name point to the same location that str does. So we're basically just having name store the address of the first character inside of this character array right here called str. Alright, so now this name pointer just points to the name that the user enters. Alright, now we just have to ask the user for all of these grades. So we're just going to say printf, we'll just say science grade, and then we'll go ahead and read the student's science grade. So we're going to say scanf, and then the grade is stored as an integer, so we're going to say %i, and then we just want it to read the science grade into this report card called RC's science grade. So we're going to say rc.science grade. And remember, we just have to provide the address to this integer variable, so we're going to have to say ampersand at the beginning. So now we're just passing through the address of this report card's science grade integer. Alright, and then we just need to do this same thing for all of the other subjects, so for history, math, and English. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy this and change the subject. So I'm going to say copy right here, just paste it 3 times. So now I have science, and then I'll change this to history, change this to math, and change this to English. So I'll say math right here, and then we want to store it inside of the math variable. Then we're looking for, I guess, history, and we'll store this inside of the history variable. And finally, English. So we'll just change this to English, and we'll store it inside of the English variable. English. Alright, perfect. So now we just got all the user's inputs, so now all of the variables inside of our struct right here, inside of our report card struct, are now filled with information that the user entered. So now all that we have to do is just calculate the average and print that information out onto the screen. And we already wrote that code, so all we have to do is just call this print report card function. So we're just going to say print report card, and then we just need to pass through the address to our report card variable right here called RC. So the address of RC. Alright, so now all we're doing right here is we're creating a report card variable and then asking the user to input all of the information for that report card. So the name and the grades in all of these subjects. Then we're just calling this print report card function that's just going to calculate the average, so the student's overall average, and then print the student's name and overall average out onto the screen. Alright, so let's just go ahead and run this and make sure that it works. So we just need to enter the student's last name. I'll just enter Doe. We'll say the student's science grade is a 93, math grade 87, history grade 89, and English grade will say 93. And we see that it just outputted the student's overall grade, which is a 90. Alright, so that's pretty much it for this tutorial. So, see you guys.